Really looking forward to this speech, and it's what a monumental anti-climax. 151 pages, I think, of vagaries. I've had a quick look through the plan. Nothing new of any substance in there, and of course not tackling the massive climate crisis that we face. We know by the government's own admission that we're going to miss the fourth and fifth carbon budgets. Those are the targets that we're supposed to be meeting in order to keep our carbon emissions down, meet our climate targets. So we're going to miss those. And really nothing in what is a very long-term plan. 25 years, action is going to be very, very slow on plastics. That's the small bit that we had. We know that the 5p plastic bag charge was just the result of an EU directive that the government should have been doing anyway. Just hard to see any real hope or any real improvement really in there beyond a little bit of stuff on plastics.
And that doesn't have the weight of the law behind it at the moment. So are you going to be pressuring the government to, back some of these ideas with actual legal sanctions if, supermarkets and others don't abide by them?
I mean, even the stuff that's in there, as you say, it isn't really got any teeth. We can't hold the government to account over it. There's no proposals for primary legislation. We do need a new Environment Act. We know that we're going to lose a lot of the protections. Theresa May tried to claim a bit of credit for clean air and clean water, but of course that's all down to EU regulations and action that's happened across the EU, and a lot of campaigning by climate campaigners and environmental campaigners. And of course, there's no concrete assurances that we're going to actually keep any of that stuff.
But does, for example, what she's saying on plastics, does that filter through to the public and get a conversation going and perhaps increase public pressure for change on this? I know you obviously would want the government to do more from what you're saying, but do you think it gets a conversation going, that it's setting things in the right direction of travel?
Well, Theresa May talked about leadership, but actually she's just following. We know that there's been the campaign by the Daily Mail. We knew that there's been the campaign by Sky. We know that there's been the Blue Planet series. We know that environmental campaigners have been pushing the government for years on this. And really the government is now bowing to public pressure. But the idea that the government is leading on this is frankly nonsense. It's kind of bringing up the rear and not doing enough, not doing it quickly enough, and not doing it with any teeth.